All right, welcome back to Willie's Sports Cafe here in Covington, Kentucky. It's our neighborhood preview show. We're in for our segment tonight with the North College Hill Trojans, and they had a fantastic undefeated season last year, went 10-0 in the regular season, and this year, as part of our Fox 19 tailgate tour, their game against CHCA will be featured on Fox 19, and it'll be a good one out there at Carl Linder Field. And, tonight, you know, a special night for you guys. Bruce Baarendse, the head coach over here. You brought some guys out. You had a fantastic offensive season last year, and I know we were talking back, I think it was in February, that you told me, I think this team's going to be better than last year's team. Why do you think that?
Well, there's several of these guys, especially the ones sitting up here at the table, have been starting for 3 years in a row. It's a senior class that has 18 people in it, and they're getting along well, working hard, and the sky's the limit with this group, I believe.
Coach, last year you talked about 10-0. Talk about the level of focus, and what do you tell these guys week in and week out when they're winning every single game? How do you keep them grounded and keep them focused on winning that next game?
Well, we had a pretty special senior class last year also, and so that really wasn't very difficult. I'm finding the thing this year is we know that we're going to be, you know, the #1 on all the teams in the league's list to get they want a piece of us. So we've been working hard, and we're looking forward to the season.
Division IV playoffs this year are going to be very difficult. Alder's a back-to-back state champion at that level. They set the bar very, very high. You know, you had a taste of that playoffs a little bit last year. Now you've got to get in there and win. What have you told the guys, and what has their focus been like, especially this senior class, is knowing that, you know, the season just doesn't end after week 10.
Yeah, well, when these guys were sophomores, we made the playoffs and we played Coldwater, a very, very good Coldwater team, and we started 8 sophomores that game, and we were a little overmatched last year. First round playoff loss to Carlisle was extremely disappointing because we felt we had the guns to go a little bit farther than that. And this year, like you said, we've had a taste of the playoff. We have playoff experience, and it's time to take the next step.
And Coach, you know, you mentioned that next step. What is that for you guys? I mean, trying to pinpoint exactly what it is and get these guys to that next level and tell them exactly what to do. How do you do that?
Well, you know, obviously you've got to win the games, but I think in the playoffs, you know, it comes down to little things because all of the teams that are in the playoffs are obviously good, and you know, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes usually comes out on top.
I want to ask you one last question before we get to your players. You're coaching at your alma mater. What was it when you got done at college at UC that drove you back there, and why have you been there so long? What is it about North College Hill that's so near and dear to your heart?
Well, how much time do you have here? I've got, no, it's when I graduated from UC back in '82, I couldn't find a job. Student taught for a year, or not student taught, substitute taught for a year, and was not coaching anywhere, just volunteer coaching a little bit around. And the only job I could find was at Glen Estee Middle School, and it had no coaching with it at all. And I was within 5 minutes of leaving to go sign that contract when the superintendent at North College Hill called and said, "Hey, so-and-so just quit. Do you want his job?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, by the way, you're assistant football, assistant basketball, and head baseball coach," and that was 28 years ago. So I think it's a little bit of fate. You know, North College Hill is just very special to me.
Down here to my right, we've got a couple wide receivers, Jim L. Allen and Jalen Rendrak. I'll get you guys mixed up. Jalen, you know, you play wide receiver. It's a high-powered offense. You got guys like Vince Edwards who also catches the football for you. Tell us a little bit about why it's so fun to play in Coach Baarendse's offense.
I mean, it's fun because, like, it's a spread offense, so all we do, we pass the ball a lot. So, and we got a good quarterback in Dakota Darden that can get the ball there. And then everybody just stay humble, and we just catch the ball.
All of you guys up here are 3-year starters, including Dakota. What's it been like coming together as a class and going through all these things as a class and as a group and getting to this point where, you know, you have a 10-0 season and you're where you want to be?
I mean, it's good because, like, we hang out all the time, like except for sports and in school. I mean, so we fun, like, we connect. So, like when we talk, we connect, like, let's say on offense, like Coda's telling me to do a route, and we'll just switch it up and not catch the ball, and Vince catch the ball, and Jamel. So we got a good team. We just connect very well.
Jamel Allen to your left there, Jalen. You know, Jamel, when you talk about this team playing both sides of the ball, almost everybody on your team does that. You know, last year you had a kid like Lucian, a player like Lucian Kidd who taught you guys a lot. What do you take from the upperclassmen that have come before you and incorporate into this team and your legacy as Trojans?
What I'll take is we got to work harder, play harder, hit the weight room, run, and do all the other extra stuff.
As a wide receiver, when you have a quarterback of Dakota's ability, what's it like sort of knowing no matter how far downfield, no matter what route you're running, if you've just got a little separation, you know he's going to hit you in the numbers and it's going to be there with some velocity. What's that like playing with a quarterback of that ability?
Feels good knowing that you got a quarterback that's going to get you the ball and without you getting like big headed or hurt or anything. Like, feels good.
To Coach Baarendse's left is the quarterback we're talking about, Dakota Dardis and Rick. First time I ever saw Dakota, he was a sophomore. He put on a show that night, and I knew right away he was going to be special. Dakota, you've done a lot over the past 2 years, and you're right there on the cusp of starting to get some offers. How has it been for you this past offseason working to get to the next level, and how frustrating has it been to know that you don't have any offers yet?
Well, I just stick with the teammates and work harder, study more film, and prepare myself and help everybody else become better leaders.
Dakota, you guys, as Greg mentioned earlier, an outstanding offense. Really put some points up on the board. What is the thing that sort of makes it go? Is it just all of you guys being big time playmakers, or is there something special about your scheme and what Coach Baarendse implements in the offensive system?
Well, all of offensive coaches prepare us well, and just about everybody been playing together since junior high and 7th grade, so it makes it more easier as the years go along to bond and play better.
Coach Baarendse was telling me earlier this past offseason about how you've gone to study films, how you're such a leader, such a second coach on the sidelines. What is it? Where is it that you get this, where you see the game so far ahead of you? Is it just from watching film, or how? You got to be pretty special to see what you're seeing out there. Where do you get it? Just from studying?
Yeah, talking more to the coaches and getting along with everybody well, and I focus hard when I watch game film.
To the end is Vince Edwards. Vince, man, you had a fantastic year as a rush lineman. I think you had 20 sacks last season. Unfortunately, your partner in crime, Mac Acus, blows out his knee this year, and he won't be with you guys for this season. But we haven't talked about the defense at all, and I know you got a lot coming back. Talk about what you guys have on that side of the football and why it's going to be so special during the MVC season.
It's going to be real special. We got a returning linebacker named Robert Shannon who helps out a lot, and Jamel Allen and Jalen Render in the secondary, so it'll make it a lot easier on the pass if I can't get to the quarterback.
Talk a little bit about, you talked about all the sacks. What's that feeling like when you just go out back there and you get a kill shot on a quarterback? Put that into words for us.
It feels good. Me being the undersized lineman, just knowing that I got to go out there and work hard, and me put my all into it, it just made me feel good and let me know that I've been working hard to get back there through all the 300 and 200-pound offensive linemen that I got to work through.
Well, now this year you're going to play some more on the offensive side of the football. I know you're working out at wide receiver. Do you prefer playing defense or offense?
I like both for real because it helps out my team. I feel like I'm a threat on the offensive ball and the defense. So, it goes hand in hand. I like both sides of the ball.
All right, so we're going to put you on the spot. Score